You get a phone call from your mother. Since her car has been in the shop, she asks you to go to the grocery store and pick up a few odds and ends for her: bread, milk, cereal, and chicken breasts. After writing down a small list, you reluctantly get in the car and pick up the items at the store. The lady cashier makes an odd remark to you. You know, we're in no danger of a milk shortage. Upon arriving at her house, you knock several times. No answer. You decide to try the door. It opens. You place the grocery bag on the counter. Strange. There seems to be 6 other grocery bags, each with identical contents. In a couple, the chicken and the milk has gone bad. "Mom," you call out, but no answer. You make your way through the kitchen and into the living room. Sitting on the couch with her head cut off and neatly resting on her lap is your mother. Naturally, you call the police, who come over to investigate. They mention that she's been dead for nearly a week. Furthermore, the police psychiatrist is at the scene and talks to you after you give your initial statement. Sitting on the front steps, you overhear the psychiatrist talking with the crime scene investigator. It's not uncommon for people suffering from schizophrenia to get locked into a series of repetitive behaviors, he says. You think to yourself, they can't be talking about me. Schizophrenia? No way. Repetitive behavior? Do they think I did this? Suddenly, your cell goes off. Hello? Hi, hun, it's me. Could you stop at the store and pick up some chicken and milk? Oh, and I need some bread and cereal, too. No problem, Mom. I'll be right over. You are home alone, and you hear on the news about the profile of a murderer who was on the loose. You look out the sliding glass doors to your backyard, and you notice a man standing out in the snow. He fits the profile of the murderer exactly, and he is smiling at you. You gulp, picking up the phone to your right and dialing 911. You look back out to the glass as you press the phone to your ear, and notice he is much closer to you now. You then drop the phone in shock. There are no footprints in the snow. It's his reflection. A mother and daughter were traveling together in Europe. When they arrived in Paris, they booked into a luxury hotel. The mother was feeling quite poorly and decided to go to bed early. The daughter was a little worried and sent for the hotel doctor, who examined the mother and wrote out a prescription. The daughter then set out into the city to find a pharmacy and buy the medicine for her mom. What should have been a simple errand ended up taking the daughter almost 4 hours, mainly because she spoke little or no French. She searched the entire city and eventually managed to find a pharmacy that was still open. Finally, the frustrated daughter arrived back at the hotel with the medicine, only to discover that her mother's room was completely empty. It was as if her mother had just vanished into thin air. In fact, the hotel room looked completely different. The carpet, the wallpaper, and the curtains all had different patterns. The bed was made and looked as if it had never been slept in. All of their luggage was nowhere to be found. When the confused daughter stopped a cleaning lady in the corridor and asked where her mother was, she was met with a blank stare. In fact, all the hotel staff denied ever seeing the mother and daughter before. The hotel manager even said he had no record of them ever checking into the hotel. At this point, the daughter became frantic and she fled to the embassy, where she was greeted by sympathetic officials who wouldn't believe her story. Instead, they doubted that her mother ever existed and decided that the daughter must be crazy, trapped in a nightmare. The young girl ended up being sent to a mental hospital, where she died years later, completely insane. It's 3 a.m. and you've been up all night on a horror binge. You've watched your favorite horror movies, read your favorite scary stories, and even attempted the old Bloody Mary trick in your mirror. You stretch and yawn, deciding now is about the time to go to bed. So you move into your bedroom and lay down to sleep. After a while, however, you realize that you can't get those images of some of the fictional creatures you saw on your TV out of your head. Meh, I'm going to hate myself for this tomorrow, you say aloud as you flick on your bedroom lamp, knowing that you have a nightlight used to help get rid of your nightmares as a little kid. Within minutes, you're close to sleep, snuggled up comfortably under the blankets with your eyes closed, and more pleasant thoughts on your mind. That is until you detect something moving in front of the light, casting a shadow over you. You blink, beginning to turn towards the lamp, before a rotting hand grabs hold of your shoulder. Thanks for turning on the light. I wouldn't have been able to find you in that darkness. If you're lucky, you'll never know about it. Your life will be spent in the bliss that can only come from the ignorance of the dark horrors that stretch and gnaw at the edge of reality. You'll never hear the dark whispers coming from the closet, never feel the cold chill creeping along your spine. You'll never pause at a turn in the hallway because you know that if you look down it, you'll see something that shouldn't be there. Something that creeps, stalks, and skulks in the shadows. Something that, once it sees you, will never stop coming for you. It won't come for you when you're sleeping. It wants you to know it's there. It wants you to hear the relentless sound of its footsteps, the panting of its breath. It wants you to smell your fear, to hear you whimper, and to see the horror on your face as it approaches. If you've any sense at all, you won't try to find it. You'll never pay attention to the sounds. You won't try to catch sight of those things that flit in the corner of your eye. Your ignorance will be your shield and your protection. Don't be overly curious. Discount the sounds as the quirks of an old house or the heating system, or any other excuse you can think of. Whatever you do, don't believe, because once you believe, they'll become real. Once you inquire into their existence, they will solidify, and once you finally uncover them for what they are, they'll come for you. One day at a shopping mall in the afternoon, a woman was coming out of the mall from a shopping spree. She was in a happy mood. She had gotten to her car and loaded her stuff that she had bought into her little trunk. When she was done loading, she shut the door of her trunk and she saw an old lady standing by the passenger side of her car. The old woman said, "Would you be a darling and give me a lift home? I don't have a car and I was walking all day." The woman said, "I'd be happy to." So she unlocked the door for the old woman. As she started to make her way around the car to the driver's side, she started to feel uncomfortable. So when she got in the car, she looked in her purse and said, "Darn, I can't find my credit card. I'm going inside to see if anybody found it." The old woman said, "I'll wait here for you." The woman left to go look for help. Then she found a security guard and told him the situation. They went back to the woman's car and the passenger door was wide open. On the seat of the car was a shopping bag that the old woman had been carrying. Inside of the bag was the old woman's dress and a gray-haired wig, along with a huge butcher knife, video camera, and a roll of duct tape. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you'd like to, you can follow me at Twitter. The handle is @FuzzyPantaloons, and I'll see you all next time.